three greatest Republican presidents in history: Ronald Wilson Reagan and Abraham Lincoln. And the third is in office tonight. Praise God. Donald John Trump. We came within a whisker, ladies and gentlemen, of losing our freedom. We were on the verge of tyranny. The great anybody here ever been to the Reagan Library? Dave has. I've been blessed to be able to speak there a couple of times. Mr. Chair, we need to organize a trip out there with the Pender County Republican Party. And when you go there, you'll see why they call Ronald Reagan the great communicator. And he said so many things that have been in our fabric. One of the great things he says we must never forget is that freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. And that's true. Right now, we live in a period kind of like Christmas Eve in 1914 in France when the British and French came together and sang Christmas carols. We're in a period of peace. That period of peace is going to come to an end. You know, we used to think that these crazy lunatic Democrats were out in California, in Chicago, in Los Angeles, in San Francisco, but just last week, 1 week ago, we had a member of the North Carolina General Assembly, a Democrat, named Lori, what's her name? What's her last name? Lori Van Haven, who held up a picture of a decapitated President Trump. That is here in Raleigh, North Carolina. I called on the Secret Service to conduct an investigation. They may not listen to me, but they should do that. But the loonies and the crazies are right under our nose. In the next 6 years, we are going to be facing a battle for the survival of our republic. We cannot take it lightly. We are facing a $37 trillion national debt that is not sustainable. And what's going to happen if we don't get that debt under control is that just like the Romans who had the denarius, or the Spanish who had the peso, or the British who had, or the Dutch who had the gelding, or the British who had the pound sterling, if our dollar falls, we will fall so fast as an economic and a military superpower that it'll make your head spin. Doge has shown us that the deep state of the federal government is a criminal enterprise, spending money on stuff like condoms for Hamas, or transgender, phone apps, or spending money on Sesame Street or whatever. They're just wasting money. We have got to reverse this national debt. We're going to lose the dollar. And so part of the battle we're going to face, we have got to wage war against the administrative deep state. We've got to take it out. If there is an agency of the deep state that is not constitutionally authorized, the Department of Education is not, USAID is not, we've got to take those agencies out. And we have to take out the Internal Revenue Service. We must end this confiscatory tax scheme that is putting us in bondage. I'll close quickly. If you heard President Trump's interview with Elon Musk, you saw what a genius the guy is. He was talking about, I said Elon Musk, I meant to say Joe Rogan, my apologies. He was talking about tariffs. The senior senator wants to choke anybody that supports tariffs. I support the tariffs, but the president was talking about during the McKinley administration, we were making so much money off tariffs that we had to have a commission to spend the money. Now, what is not said is this, that between 1880 and 1913, when this country made the greatest constitutional mistake ever and passed the 16th Amendment to put the income tax in place and passed the first income tax, during that period of time, we had the greatest national explosion ever with zero income tax. Think about that. If we slim government down, we can end the income tax, and if we end the corporate tax, think about what's going to happen with these countries that have fled our shores. They will come back so fast it'll make your head spin. We've got to get these mRNA vaccines off the market. We've got to restore medical freedom. We've got to restore freedom to our country, and we've got to return our country to a model which is consistent with what the founders believed in. That is limited government, set only under what we have in Article 1, Section 8, and we must understand that these agencies, to the extent they're necessary, transfer them back to the states. That's what federalism is about. There's going to be a war. There's going to be a war on the floor of the United States Congress to save this nation. I'm willing to fight that war. I'm an ex-naval officer. I'm willing to give my life for it. And we appreciate the opportunity to be here with you all for a few minutes. And I thank the chairman, and I'll turn it back over. Thank you.